Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis. Let us continue our contemplation based on the Purna Yoga talks by Sri Prabhuji. Right now we are on the third day talk, which is on the Sankhya Yoga, and primarily focusing on Karma Yoga, part of Sankhya in the Sankhya Yoga chapter, and the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. So today, let us begin with question number 4. How to evaluate our own spiritual progress? Is there a way by which we can evaluate our spiritual progress? So first of all, you may have to speak about what is spiritual progress and how do you measure by yourself. Let us begin. Who would like to begin first? Krishnaji, would you like to share your views?
Vijayji, I haven't completed the video fully. I mean, didn't evaluate. I didn't come to these questions, but I was looking to Sthita Prajna how it is, and I don't know like fourth
How do you
exactly.
want to? So for
Yeah,
the time being, based on
yeah,
whatever your current understanding,
yeah,
what is your understanding of spiritual progress and how do you evaluate your own spiritual progress?
yeah, yeah. To me, it's like so. I'm not this body, mind, intellect, right? So that's a spiritual thing. When I say I'm in spiritual and I'm I'm going to practice spiritual. So how do evaluate our spiritual progresses? So,
So just to bring clarity, you're saying negating is what you call
mm,
as spiritual progress. That I am not something else. Negation of I am not something is what you call as spiritual progress.
but yeah, but how do I uh, move or make actions in this external world by really experiencing this experience? I mean, um, doing like karma yoga and not inferencing the informations from five senses, and how far we are, how far like in what are the situations we are able to act without referencing this mind body intellect. So number of situation we are peace and blissful. That's how I would evaluate. That's my current understanding.
Again, is it possible to act in the world without mind, body, intellect?
No, it is not. But I can act earlier. Earlier to Gita or the spiritual processes, like I would react to the things, and there would be not directly selfish kind of thing, but it would indirectly also pointing me to the selfish, like that this is me, and I have some baggage. Like I need this, I need money, but I need. Kind of place, I need this kind of relations, and I need someone to treat me this way, right? But this spiritual progress is something we have to still interact with the world, but with the understanding of that you are not this mind and body, these is all gathered one, and there is karmic princess, and do everything as a yajna, that is selflessness.
All right. However, in order to perform any action, right now you're speaking. You
Yeah.
cannot simply keep quiet because I'm asking the question. You simply cannot keep quiet. So you cannot simply say
Mhm.
that I'm not the body and mind and intellect and simply say I have no answer. So you have to give an answer. And when you're
Mm.
answering, you have to bring out the right words, right sentences, and right meaning through the answer. So this is also a kind of a karma.
Mm.
Now, unless you are consciously uh, looking at, okay, what is the answer to give and how do I frame the sentences? Is it even possible to act?
So that's becomes, yeah, we can act, but that becomes a reaction instead of a response. Think and say and talk, like, and paraphrase before we talk. That is consciousness and karma yoga, I would say, without there is nothing attached to our baggages thing, or if we react to the things, right, without even our controls, few things like we would something or few words when we heard, or someone says something about us, that we quickly react. So that is like unconscious thing, but instead we have to be calm and think consciously and respond. Obviously there is a thinking in that, but there is a difference between these two. They're like, I would not even thinking, I just somebody scold me, I will also just scold, or I'll become like having getting a bad feeling, other things.
Wonderful. So essentially, what you are saying is being peaceful and responding is a sign of spiritual progress.
Yes.
Okay. And is there an end to it? Or is it a
End in the sense.
continuous process? So progress, for example,
Mhm.
is it like, you're going from point A to point B, and at the point B, the journey ends? Or is it, okay, from point B, then I have to go to point C, then from point C, I have to go to point D? Is it like that?
Hmm. That I'm not really sure actually. I don't have that clarity, but right now it is like, uh, so whatever comes to us, respond consciously and perform any actions, verbally or thoughts, intellect, consciously. That's how I'm saying is there is no like A and B. Currently, I know. That's how
Mm.
I'm saying it. So it's like whatever comes, like I should be consciously doing, and I'm here in some place, and especially Bangalore or here this location, mom, mother, and some kind of work. So so there is something I have in my karmic, right? So whatever I did earlier unconsciously, or like quickly react without even thinking, now I have to consciously do it. So so before earlier to this also, right? So there were a lot of actions happening, too many. But now it is like consciously I avoided few things and I feel quite okay. That's why I'm saying it. But if coming back to the actual point, I don't know. Like it's like current state. It is like whatever comes, I'll do consciously. That's how it is for me. There is no 10%, 20%. There is something like there is 100%. I don't get, or I don't have that clarity on that.
All right.
That's the current feeling.
And also, is it possible that, you move 10% and then you can fall back to 5%? Imagine there's a situation that makes you
Hmm.
feel angry. So does it
Uh,
mean that you have gone back in your spiritual progress?
No, that means like how intense or how really purified, or even though I say I'm not body mind, right? So it's it's already kind of baggage. It's that deep rooted kind of thing, right? So we have to practice. So that's what I told, right? Number of instances or number of situations around me or within me. How do I handle, right? There is a possibility, yeah, I would react. So that means that still it has to be worked upon. That's how I'm seeing it.
All right.
But are you realizing that how it was earlier and how it has made a progress or not? Obviously, if there is some progress, I mean, earlier the same situation or similar situation comes in, I used to react and how consciously made this. After making conscious decision, how it has changed. If same situation similar occurs, I'm reacting the same way, or there is a difference in my reaction. So through that, I'm kind of measuring, but I don't know the units or whatever it is. I don't know. Through the experience only, I can feel. how blissful I am, right? So that's how it is.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Krishnaji.
Thank you.
Savitri Amma, would you like to share?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ಗುಣಗಳು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಇವೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದೀವೋ ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಅದು ಇರುವುದನ್ನೇ ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವುದನ್ನೇ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡಂತ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ಷಣ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಬಿಡುವುದಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ಮನೋ ನಾಶವನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದರಿಂದ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಗುರುಜಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮನನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರವಣ ಮನನ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸದಿಂದಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಲು ಅವುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಸಾಧನಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಷಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೋನಿಗ್ರಹವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ನನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೋ ಅದರ ಹಿಂದೆನೆ ನಾನು ಅದರ ಬೆನ್ನ ಹಿಂದೆನೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹತೋಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ. ಯಾವ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಶೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದು ಅವಶ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅವಶ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಷಮ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ದಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳ ನಿಗ್ರಹ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇಕು ಇದು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಬೇಕೆನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅವಶ್ಯವಿದೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅವಶ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ಹತೋಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಮ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ತಿತಿಕ್ಷ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ದುಃಖ ಬರಲಿ ಸುಖ ಬರಲಿ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ನಾವು ಸಮನಾಗಿ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುವುದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುಃಖ ಬಂದರೆ ಕುಗ್ಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತು ಸುಖ ಬಂದರೆ ಹಿಗ್ಗದೆ ಸಮಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವುದೇ ತಿತಿಕ್ಷ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಏರುಪೇರುಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಸುಖ ದುಃಖಗಳು ಅವು ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವು ಎಲ್ಲವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾನು ಸಮನಾಗಿ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುತ್ತೇನೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೋ, ಅಥವಾ ದುಃಖ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅತಿ ಕುಗ್ಗುವುದು, ಸುಖ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಿಗ್ಗುವುದು ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಲಕ್ಷಣ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೋ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಉಪರತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ಉನ್ನತಿಗೆ ಇವೆಯೋ ಅಥವಾ ಅದರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಅಥವಾ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿವೆಯೋ ಅಥವಾ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಯೋ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಉಪರತಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಅರಿತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಲು ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸಾಧನ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಂಬಿಕೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಗುರುಗಳನ್ನು ನಂಬುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ನಾವು ಪಡೆಯುವಂತ ಜ್ಞಾನವಾಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಂಬಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ನಂಬಿಕೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಗುರು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುರು ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲವುದನ್ನು ನಂಬಿದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಮಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನಂಬದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ಶಮ ದಮ ತಿತಿಕ್ಷ ಉಪರತಿ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು ತನ್ನಿಂದ ತಾನೇ ಸಮಾಧಾನವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಸಮಾಧಾನ ತನ್ನಿಂದ ತಾನೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವುಗಳಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಕೂಡ ದೂರವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಗುರು ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಭಾವಿಕವಾಗಿಯೇ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಪಡೆಯುವಂತ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರವಣ ಮನನ ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸದಿಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ನಾವು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವ ಸೇವೆಯಿಂದಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಯಜ್ಞವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಗುಣಗಳು ಬೆಳೆದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಗುರುಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗುರು ಅವರನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು ಜ್ಞಾನ ನೀಡಲು. ಆದರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಗುರುವಿನ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೇನೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನಿಂದ ತಾನೇ ಬರುತ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಗುರುಗಳ ಒಂದು ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಗುಣಗಳು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವುದರಿಂದ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸೇವೆ ಅಥವಾ ಶರಣಾಗತಿಯು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವಂತ ಸೇವೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಶರಣಾಗತಿಯ ಭಾವ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೋ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ರಾಗ ದ್ವೇಷಗಳು ಕೂಡ ತನ್ನಿಂದ ತಾನೇ ಕಡಿಮೆಯಾಗುತ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್.
ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸರ್ತಿ ಆ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿ ಆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪದವನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಮ್ಮ?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಕ್ಷಮ, ದಮ, ತಿತಿಕ್ಷಾ, ಉಪರತಿ, ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ, ಸಮಾಧಾನ, ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ.
7 ಆಗೋಯ್ತು.
ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ತನ್ನಿಂದ ತಾನೇ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇರೋದು ಕ್ಷಮ, ದಮ, ತಿತಿಕ್ಷಾ, ಉಪರತಿ, ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ, ಸಮಾಧಾನ, ಇವು ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಮ್ಮ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಪದ್ಮಾ ಅಮ್ಮ.
ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಈಗ ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಆತ್ಮನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿಯೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಥಿಯರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಆ ಒಂದು ನಾನು ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಶುದ್ಧ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನುವುದಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣನಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ ಎಲ್ರೂ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಂಡ ಹಾಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನನ್ನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯೂ ಅದೇನೆ, ಇವ್ರಿಬ್ರು ಹೇಳದ ಹಾಗೇನೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಾನೇನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಗುರೂಜಿಗಳು ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. FIR ಅದು ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ, ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಕವರಿ. ಆವಾಗ ನಿಜವಾದ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಸಮತ್ವವನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಸಮತ್ವವನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಶ್ರವಣ ಮನನ ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ ಈ ಸತ್ಸಂಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ದೊರೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗುರೂಜಿಗಳು ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮಾರ್ಗ. FIR ನಾನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಮತ್ವದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಬಹುದು, ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದಾಗಬಹುದು, ಪ್ರತಿ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲೂ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಾನು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನಾನು ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿತೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಥಿಮಿತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಭಾಯಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ವಿಚಲಿತ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೂ ಹಾನಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿನಿಂದಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಜೀವಿಯಿಂದಲೋ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಂದಲೋ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಕೆಲಸ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ನನ್ಗೆ FIR ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಪದ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ. ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾ ಅಮ್ಮ?
ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇರೋವರೆಗೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು
ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಥಿತ
ಅಯ್ಯೋ
ಪ್ರಜ್ಞೆ
ಇದು ಊಟ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಕೆಲ್ಸ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅವಾಗ ಮಾಡೋದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವಾಗಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಸಮತ್ವದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನೋ ಅವಾಗ ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಯಾವ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಆವಾಗ ನಾನು ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನು ತುಂಬಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಚೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅವರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದೇ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಆಗ ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಮ್ಮ.
ಸರ್.
ಪದ್ಮಾಜಿ.
I think all three of them have covered the points, sir. But what Padmaji shared just now, I think that is the right way to evaluate the spiritual progress. Yes, all the Shat Sampati and that is essential to reach here. But how do you evaluate your spiritual progress in the day-to-day situation? Because I think theoretically all of us are very good. We can say what is Shat Sampati, and we also Nanu Nan and Buddhu Nanalla. Even that, I think in every class of ours we say it at least once or twice. But do we really act like that is the thing that we need to evaluate, because the karma bhumi is where all this has to be applied. And if it is not applied there, then there is no progress, I feel. So how I evaluate my spiritual progress is in similar situations like Krishnaji mentioned. Is the reaction still similar, or has it changed? Has it changed for the better? Am I able to handle it in a better way now compared to how I have handled it before? And also, whatever we feel, right, it is visible in our, not only in our actions, but also in our body, in our subtle body and physical body. If we have anger, the anger is not just in the thought, it is manifesting in the thought, but then it is coming out and reflecting out onto the subtle body and then to the physical body. And that should take some time. Usually it is instant, right? Especially anger is very instant, and it has got it is of the, depending upon the magnitude, it can affect the other person in a very negative way. So if we take a step back, look at the situation, like what is needed to be done here, rather than what I think about it in my head, what the situation is like this, so if I do like this, will it be correct? That sort of question, if it is coming before every action, then I think some awareness is there. That means, so you are aware of, okay, this has come to me now, so what do I do? That question arises when you are aware. So the response time is also delayed when you have that kind of thought. When the response time is delayed, obviously there is some thinking going on in that behind that, whether what I am doing is correct or not, rather than impulsively acting on it, on any situation. So if the uh, emotional things that you undergo, emotional changes that you undergo, reduces with time, and the occurrence of the emotional turbulence itself is lessened over a period of time, that means there is some spiritual progress. Whether it is come to the level where you want it, that is something, I think it is very individualistic. You cannot put a yardstick to it that I am this much percent, because and like you mentioned, yes, there can be some instances where within certain situations you might still be like how you earlier used to be, but that is not something that you should be deterred by. It is just that, okay, there can be setbacks in everyone's life, but then you pick up and you again start on that path, again you go back to that path. So that is how you can continue the progress also, I think. Yes, sir. That's all.
Thank you, Padmaji. In one sense, there cannot be a progress. Progress is an illusion. In your dream, you go to so many places. And many a times, you're flying, you're jumping, you're falling, you're moving, you're constantly moving. And in that dream, you're constantly also wanting to come to some place. Especially when you're in your dream, when you're falling, you want to immediately reach a safe place. Is it not? You want to be on a stable thing. And you're reaching, it is falling, you're becoming fearful. Suddenly eyes open. Abba. Okay, I was not falling. Oh, it is just a dream. So that waking up is what makes you feel, okay, it's okay. That was just a dream. So that falling was an illusion. There was never really a falling. There was never really a flying. There was never really a moving. It is just an illusion. So when you realize that, then there is no progress. Where did you go actually in your dream? You went, in one sense, nowhere. From where? From nowhere. So from nowhere to nowhere, there is no journey. Correct? Huh? But it felt as if you went from somewhere to somewhere. But from where? Nobody knows. To where? Nobody knows. But when you wake up from the dream, you can clearly say that, oh, nowhere. I went nowhere. I've always been here. So in that sense, the other way of looking at the fire that Padma Amma mentioned, F-I-R-E. What is fire? Frequency, intensity, and the time to rebound. So that is in terms of when I'm living this so-called practical life or the so-called waking life, how am I in different situations of this life? It can be seen from two viewpoints. fire is one viewpoint, and the other side of the fire is light, love, laughter. So fire shows you what you and I say, I don't want in my life. Who amongst us wants here to be angry, to be stressed, to be afraid, to be crying, to be sad? Who wants all these amongst us? So none of us say that, I want to be angry. I want to feel sad. I want to feel depressed. So we all want less of it. And how much less of it is what is indicated by fire. Is a frequency of me getting angry reducing? Is the intensity of that anger reducing? Is the time to rebound from that anger situation reducing? So this is all seen from the viewpoint of what I don't want. But if you put the question the other way, what is that you and I really want in life? Please tell me. What is that you want? You all have that experience. All of us have been child at one point or the other. Where has that child gone? As a child, how you felt? As soon as you woke up in the morning, you wanted to run. Is it not? Very light. You always have been that light. You felt very light. I feel very light. What a wonderful word, light. In a single word, it has the whole spirituality. L-I-G-H-T, light. What is light? I am light. I am that light of awareness. I am that awareness. And I have no weight. So I'm very light. There is no weight for me. All the other weight is coming because of the light shining on the so-called objects of the world coming into the mind. So the light itself has no weight. And that light is who I am. So realizing that I am the light. And I am light. I have no weight to carry. I am not carrying any of this world. I am not doing anything. I am not enjoying. I have nothing to gain or lose. I don't become better or I don't become inferior. Very light. My very nature is that of love. So, more and more love towards everything, towards everyone. No bars. Laughter. More and more, I can see laughter in every situation. More and more, I can feel joyful in a gain or a loss, in an insult or a praise. So like that is light, love, laughter increasing in your life? Or is the fire reducing in your life? Is how I can also see whether there is actually a progress happening. Again, the progress is an illusion, is an eventual realization. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do. But till that notion is there that I have to progress, something in me says I have to progress. As long as that I have to progress is there, fire, love, light, laughter are like how Savitri Amma said, Shat Sampati are the 6 noble qualities increasing in me. So any of these can be a very good indicator, litmus test. We all know that, right? From our school, if you want to know whether a particular chemical substance is acid or base, you perform something called a litmus test. So like that, litmus test. It is said that the one who really passes the litmus test is a Paramahamsa, one who is able to differentiate between water. Hamsa is this bird which is able to discriminate between water and milk when water and milk together are given. Who amongst us can really separate water and milk? Unless it is boiled, we cannot really separate. But a Hamsa can separate water and milk, it is said. Again, it's a indication of the discrimination that you can build in your mind, in your intellect. So the one who has learned to discriminate the change and the not changing, the one who is able to discriminate between what is happening and on which what is happening. Discrimination doesn't mean that they are separate. Discrimination only brings clarity that what is changing and what is not changing. Much like how the dream and the dreamer are one and the same. Without the dreamer, there cannot be a dream. However, dream is not the dreamer. Dreamer is over and above the dream. But the dream is there only because of the dreamer. Without the dreamer, there cannot be a dream. So in that sense, there is nothing really to give up. There is only to realize through discrimination what is changing and what is not changing. So in that sense, there is a journey, because there is something that may not have come to that place of stillness. And when that place of stillness is there, then there is nothing more to seek, nothing more to gain or lose. Much like your deep sleep. Where are you in your deep sleep? Where did you go? What came? What went? So, Paramashanti. And that Paramashanti is what is your true nature is. When not one day, or not when I was a child, or not when I was in that movie. All that is a experience, like a window to your true self. But that is who you are when all the time, where here and now. So in that sense, this spiritual journey is a journey that actually takes you nowhere, but gives you kind of shows you everything. Hari Om. Anybody has any questions or anything else to add?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳೋಣ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ನೀವು
ಹೇಳಿ ma'am.
ಮುಮುಕ್ಷ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದು ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಸರಿ. ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಾಧನ ಚತುಷ್ಟಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 4ನೇದು. ಅದನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಸಾಧನ ಚತುಷ್ಟಯ ನಿಮಗ್ ತಿಳಿದಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ತತ್ವಬೋಧದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ವಿವೇಕ, ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ, ಸಾಧನ, ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ. ಇದು 4ನೇದು ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ. ಅವರು ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಗುರೂಜಿಗಳ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮುಳುಗಿಸಿದಾಗ ಅವನು ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಬದುಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿ, ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಂದ ಆ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾತೊರೆಯುವ ಸ್ಥಿತಿನೇ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಗುರೂಜಿಗಳ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಕೃಷ್ಣರಾಜ್ ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಮಿತಾ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀನಿ. ಅವರು ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ, ತಮಿಳೋ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಂಗೇನು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ. ರಾಗ ಇಲ್ದೇ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪಾಪ ಅವರು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮ. Anything else? Krishnaji, is there any point you want to add or any question you have?
No, Vijay.
So just want to end it with a small picture that, in a way summarizes what we were discussing. So fundamentally, all of us want to have a life of freedom. Freedom from all kinds of limitations. And ultimately, that is your true nature, has to be realized. And from where I stand, I may be feeling a sense of I am bound. And there are 3 fundamental bondages. I am doing something, I am enjoying, I am the knower. These 3 are the fundamental bondages. And how does one come out of this bondage? This is where the journey aspect comes into picture. When I realize that there is something incomplete, it is not a fulfilling life, or the life is full of stress, whatever may be the trigger, but a certain seeking starts. Oh, I have to come out of this. I have to become better. Like somebody who is saying, I'm very poor, I want to become rich. So from being a poor, I want to become rich, journey has begun. Like that, when a fundamental feeling of dissatisfaction, a feeling of incompleteness, a feeling of it is very stressful, I want to escape, like that, many triggers can be there. Some very life-threatening situations of life, are very emotionally draining situations of life. All of them can trigger a true question. I want to be free. Is this all to life? Like how it began to Buddha. He saw somebody sick, somebody dying, and he saw somebody being very old. That itself was enough for him to trigger that fundamental question. Is this all life is? Is there something more to it? So like that, when somebody starts the journey from that viewpoint as a sadhaka, there are 3 fundamental bondages: doership, enjoyership, knowership. And how does one come out of that bondage? First 3 important steps: Sadguru, Seva, Satsanga. What is Sadguru? The jnana, the teachings offered by a realized being. That I have to listen, and I have to contemplate, and I have to start realizing, and I have to start adopting that. And what does Sadguru teach? Seva and Satsanga as the practical tools. What is Seva? Doing whatever I am doing with a sense of offering, with a sense of benefit to the other. So as I get involved with Seva, the mind starts getting purified. Satsanga increases that feeling towards mumukshatva, towards mukti, towards wanting to be free. There are times when I am low, when I come into a satsanga, the togetherness and the focus on the seva and the jnana naturally uplifts me. Because we all know we are with who we are together. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ, ಕತ್ತೆಯಂತೆ ಲದ್ದಿ ಸಂಗದಂತೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ. So the donkey, what does it drop? Whatever it has eaten. So like that, what kind of a feeling or thinking and life processes develop in us with who we are constantly together. So Sadguru, Seva, Satsanga, 3 important steps. And that starts bringing in the 4 important qualifications for the ultimate realization. Who you are is not going to change, but it has to be clearly recognized, because it is not a matter of theoretical concept, or this is what my guru says, or this is what my shastra says. According to Shastra, page number 21, that is a quotation. It is not a quotation. It is not a matter of quotation. Oh, this is what my Sadguru said. It is not a matter of quotation. It is a matter of your inner, true, deeper feeling. So to come to that, through the Sadguru Seva Satsanga, as the mind becomes stable, as the inner purity increases, 4 qualifications develop. Or in other words, using these 4 qualifications, I can see how I have progressed. What are them? Viveka, Vairagya, Shatsampati, Mumukshatva. Viveka, the ability to discriminate the truth from the untruth, the changing from the unchanging. Various kinds of Viveka. Bhagavadgita teaches us various kinds of Viveka. Dharma, Adharma, Viveka. What is Dharma? What is Adharma? And what is the way to live life? Do I want to be bound, or do I want to be free? So like that, various Viveka is taught through various approaches. Vairagya. When the right Viveka is there, Vairagya. Vairagya means what? Essentially, lack of interest towards the objects of the world. It is not something that I can develop. Oh, from today, I will give up. For example, if I'm addicted to, say, watching mobile, I will give up addiction to mobile. It will not happen like that. Through the right discrimination, through the right practice, holding on to something right, naturally, the tendency to waste my time in watching mobile drops. So Vairagya is an outcome of the right Viveka. Shat Sampati, already our Savitri Amma has spoken about it. Shat Sampati, 6 fundamental divine qualities, which are you, which are already there, but they have to develop. They have to be brought out. So each one of them is a very conscious effort. And how this entire thing happens? Through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, this cycle. And where? With Sadguru, with Satsanga, while being part of Seva. So it is not like a linear process. It's not like, okay, I will first do this and then I will do this. No, it's a continuous process. So through all this, it brings us to deep inner realization that there is none other than the divine awareness only within me and what I feel as outside of me. Or in other words, there is nothing other than divine awareness in what we call as the world and me. There is no me and the world. There is no you and me. That is the fundamental reality of life. And that is the state of yoga. And that is the sahaja sthiti, natural state. And when I feel away from it, that is where the sense of progress. And the progress is through these steps. So this 3 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 1. So this is like a equation. This is another way to visually understand what's been said so far. Any questions, anyone? Krishnaji, is this bringing clarity?
Yeah.
All right. Shall we then end our today's contemplation? Hari Om.